Hello, I'm Otto, and welcome to episode 18 of my Factorio Space Age guide. So in the last episode, we set up concrete and attached that to the shopping mall. In this episode, we are going to be setting up oil refinery. So we're gonna be doing some oil processing. So I'm gonna grab. We got 12 of those. We need some pump jacks because we need to bring some oil up. We're also gonna. I have some pumps. We're probably gonna need some more underground belts. So I'm just gonna grab all of those. I bet that's not even gonna be enough. So I'm gonna. I'm gonna swap up the way that I'm doing things a little bit. Not much. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to change the format just slightly. So what I'm going to do is near the end of the video, I am going to have a point where I maybe do some busy work and just kind of like, ooh, we need some more grenades. And just like speed through things, and then I will end the video after that. The large reason why I'm doing that is because sometimes as I'm going through doing these videos, something will happen during that period of time that I'm like, I should have been able to mention, like, okay, what was going on with that. But I will have chapters in the videos, so if you do not want to watch that, that is perfectly fine. I do not blame you because, like I said, it's going to be a bunch of probably kind of boring busy work. Stuff like at the end of this episode, I'm going to end up taking on this biter nest, maybe more. It kind of depends on how this one goes, because this is probably going to be a rough biter nest. Let's be honest. But then I'll do things like, okay, I'm gonna add on to this smelting stack. Like, I mean, once you've seen one smelting stack, like, there's really no point in, watching me do it. But I'm gonna speed through a lot of that stuff, and I'll try to keep it in chunks, right? So like, this episode will be a little bit shorter because oil processing is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. And then I'll add on to the iron lines. So I'll get 2 more iron lines coming through here, and then I'm going to go kill some biters. And then maybe in the next episode when we do plastic, I'll maybe add on to the copper. And so it'll be kind of like that. But I'm going to do the tasking type stuff within the context of the video. And then at the end, I will end the video and have, like I said, chapters to, so that you can skip it if you really want to, and you'll know where you need to. Look at those miners. I love it. Every time I drive by this, we're almost out of iron ore. Yeah, so you can skip through as much as you need. Okay, so what do we need for oil processing? Well, first off, we need oil. And for oil, we need power, and we're going to need to get down here. So I'm just going to use this city block. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm probably going to go through and remove a lot of these city blocks, like once we get closer to bots. And that'll probably be another one of those tasking things that I just kind of like skip through really quick. But we don't want bots placing all of these because it will just absolutely kill our power. So I'll go through and remove the unnecessary ones. And then once bots are stable, then we can add them back and let them go do what they want to do. Okay, so I'm just going to paint a line just straight up. I'm holding shift. That way, if there's any trees, we can make sure to get through the trees. So now we just need to attach some power on wherever it is that I just lined that up. Over here by the copper, let's say. Alright, so I'm just going to run this down. Yeah, so that's going to be the new format, let's say. And the reason why I do that is because, like, if you've never seen one of my videos, the reason why I'm doing that is because I like to show my work. That way, you know that I didn't just, like, cheat my way through this or whatever. I think at this point we can... no. We can probably just safely just run it down. Looks like we're gonna run into some more trees as we get closer, but that's okay. I could use the car for this. Oh, never mind. Oh, wait, we're there. Okay. So let's connect. We'll connect these two. So whenever I set up the pump jacks, whenever I set up oil, you can pipette over these, and it'll just automatically give you the pump jacks. So that's the Q key. So whenever I'm setting these up, I like to visually think, okay, well, how are these going to come together? Because I want to have like a central line, maybe a couple of central lines. And when they exactly line up like this, like it's kind of a pain because you can't have them like both facing down because the outputs will interfere with each other. Or in this case, this one here would actually block this one. So we can reasonably assume that these are going to be on one side. This one can be either facing to the left or facing down. We're going to assume that it's facing down. So maybe this will be our central line. So I like to just kind of paint a central line and see if everything else will line up with that. Looks like most of these will. The downside is you cannot run through these, so... sure, this one, let's just say that these two will come out like this. The rest of these should be, yep, perfect. And then once you get, like, let's say this will come down here, so now we know that we can just put an underground there, and that one will be fine. It used to be a lot more necessary, like in Factorio 1.0, it was a lot more necessary to utilize the undergrounds as much as possible. Now it doesn't even really, it doesn't matter that much. You could just do complete straight pipes if you wanted to, but the UPS efficiency was way better if you used undergrounds. Even like in a case like maybe not this case, but it was actually better to use undergrounds like a per tile situation. So like this one, it would have been better to use undergrounds rather than 3 pipes. It would have been better to use 2 undergrounds. That is not the case anymore. However, we do still like to be able to walk through things. So, we don't have substations yet, which have a much... Actually, can I just show the substations real quick? Just to kind of show how much area these things will cover. So these things are amazing. And the range that these have increases with quality, so we will eventually get there. But for now, we are stuck with these little dinky power poles. That's okay. So we just need to make sure that each of these have power. We're just gonna... Oh, that didn't connect. We're just gonna make sure that each of them have power, and... Oh no. Okay, no more blinking lights. We are good. We're gonna run this way because we kind of want to aim... Oh, I am just missing radar coverage. That's unfortunate. It is what it is. Ideally, I would have these running up through here somewhere. That's not a big deal. We can probably... I'll just run this line down. So I'm going to hold control and shift just so I make sure that these are going to line up properly. Holding shift would have been fine, but whatever. Just in case, right? Okay, so that's where we're going to need to go on that end. But we need to... You know what? We might just go up there first and then run a line down. Yeah, why not? Then we can run a line down and make sure that we nail it. have to get through some more trees. Awesome. Alright, I'm going to extend the bus. At least the non-liquid parts of the bus. I always forget I should do this in map view. It's just... Oh, hold shift. Okay, so we're going to need to get both water and oil in here. And the reason why, and I'm going to use the beacon as my kind of spacer. It takes up the same space as the measuring stick that I've been using. But then we can just say, okay, these can go across here, and it's always ghost, so I mean that's a big plus. I don't have to worry about removing the stuff that I didn't stamp down. So this is kind of, we need to leave enough room for beacons. So this is going to dictate our starting line. So our starting line is basically, what are you doing? Our starting line is basically going to be, let's say, there. And we are going to need, well, let's just ghost this out. Where did my oil refineries go? I don't know exactly how these are going to line up yet, but we're going to have one coming in, I don't know, let's say here. And the other one will need to be far enough away that it doesn't connect. So something like that. Alright, and the main reason I did... Oh, I should have left... Hold on, let's put a beacon down. That's probably not a good idea because I'm going to copy all this. Whatever. If we copy it, that's okay. I'll just cut and paste. So we want to get this over to the left. We don't want to line it up inside the RoboPort, so we want to go just to the right of the RoboPort. And there. So that is where we're going to have those. So when we go to oil processing, the right one is going to be the input for oil, and the left one is going to be the input for eventually water. So the water would come in like this, down this line. So this would be our water, and we're probably just going to, like, we already have water coming in right next door, so we're probably just going to connect these. No point in bringing it all the way down to the bus, you know, all the way down here for concrete, and then branching it, and then all the way back up. Like, we're just going to take it from here, and that's perfectly fine. But then this one is oil. And the thing about this version of the game, before we go collect the oil, is one of the new things that they changed. Oh, sorry, not rotate. One of the things that they changed is you can actually change where the inputs are, which is great. So we can pair up the petroleum gas here and here, and pair up the petroleum gas here and here. So I just used H to do that. If they were, like, say, here and here, you would not use H because that would turn it horizontally. It would change it 180 degrees. You would use V to vertically flip it, but in this case we're facing up and down, so it would be H. So that will allow us to actually do this instead. Actually, we don't need that piece because oil is not continuing on. And then you can see the petroleum gas is grouped up here. And this would be for light oil coming out of the middle, and heavy oil coming out the backside. And then we will just exit these all the way. Whoops, not. We want the ghost. So all 3 of these will be at max distance. And that is going to be the oil build. So let's get some oil. So if we drag this, it's not quite going to reach all the way, but that's okay. We can just float it out there. It will continue to reach from here. Be careful not to like just drag this all the way down. If you don't have these belts placed, it will place it right in the middle and get rid of your belts. So watch out for that. We are just manually placing those. Okay, so oil I think was on the top. Wait, we have vision. We can just see. Oil was down here. Oh right, I already dragged it through. But I did not drag it all the way to where we're at now. Okay, well. And since we're going to line up anyways, we might as well just do that. All right, let's hop in the car. We're going to aim the car south because we can just quickly drag this through. Nope, nope, this way. We're probably going to run into trees though. Ooh, ooh. Ow. Okay, fine. We'll just not blow up the car. Let's not blow up the car. And I'm looking over at the map on the right-hand side to kind of see where we need to line up. So something. Oh, here we go. And you can see the belt just turned red, or the pipe just turned red. So what this is this is the pipe extent. So the pipe extent on the right-hand side is 377 tiles out of 320. That is an easy fix. All you have to do is make sure that somewhere in the middle you have a pump. So we have pumps, so we should be fine. And I believe somewhere around here is probably going to be acceptable. We just need to make sure that we get power down here. That's powered, so this one, let's say here. So we'll be fine with the pump right here. And now that just needs power. So the pump will move 1,200 fluid per second per pump. And that is not pumps in a line. That is like pumps like, for instance, like this. These would all be pumping 1,200 each from the back side into the front side. We only need the one though. The one is perfectly fine for what we're using it for at the moment. And then the oil over time, like you can see the yield, the crude oil combined yield is 2,504%. This will go down. That just indicates how much we're bringing in, or sorry, how much is being pumped out. That amount will be lowered over time, so we will have to eventually extend. Let's do the straight ones first. We will need to eventually extend into more oil. So the reason why I'm doing the straight ones first is because it makes, and these will not connect until we have advanced oil processing. I'm doing the straight ones first because it makes it easier to do the undergrounds after. I did not set this up for water. Go me. And the reason why we're setting it up this way is kind of specific. There's a decent reason why. I will show you shortly after I get these. And thankfully these you can just drag through, so that makes that easy. Okay, so we grabbed 12. We're just going to move this above it. Now, if you look at the pipes that are connecting on the left-hand side, you can see that this is now the maximum length. And that's actually exactly where we need it to be. So the reason why is because we were going to be setting up beacons. Beacons will eventually come down here. They're not going to fit perfectly, but actually, because we're not, whatever. You'll be able to get more on the bottom, but in the middle, we're only going to be able to place 2. One here, and we're going to have a little bit more of a gap here because of the way the heavy oil here is separated. So don't mind that there's not a gap here, but the potential for a gap here. It doesn't matter where you place these. Actually, I can't see without the buildings being placed, so let's get those down. So whenever I scroll over this one, you can see that 4 of the oil refineries light up. And same with this one, you can see that there's 6 that light up. In the case of this one over here, there's 4 that light up, and this one has 6 that line up. So it doesn't matter if this is positioned here or here. And same with this one, it doesn't matter where they're positioned here or here. This one will connect to 6 either way, this one will connect to 4 either way. So this is roughly where the beacons will end up being. And that gives us room on the other side as well. The beacons will broadcast a module, so it's only allowed to be speed or efficiency. Generally, if you're using beacons, unless you're just in dire need of power reduction, the beacons, you're probably going to be putting speed in them. I'm the type of player that whenever I set things up, I like to have it's you know, like my mother always used to say, you know, it's always better to have too much and not, like, rather than not enough. Like, if you have too much power, you're in a good position because you can put modules into buildings. So a lot of the buildings you'd put like productivity modules and then beacon speed around them, or in some cases you might beacon the buildings for speed and beacon speed around them. Or if power is an issue, you could beacon for efficiency modules, which reduce the power consumption. I believe we discussed that not too long ago in one of the shopping mall episodes. Oh, I just ran out of pipes. Let's get some more. How's my underground? Ooh, 41. I just managed to have enough. I like to have at least close to 100 on me. It's a good fit. And I say that, but almost every single time that I end up with 100, I end up needing more. So, whatever. And again, we're setting this up to be able to fit the light oil and heavy oil and water, but we are not going to be using those until we have advanced oil processing. Advanced oil processing is in the tree, and it is a blue science. So we will unlock that shortly after blue science. Yeah, that gives us a lot of different things that we can do, and we will get there. Don't you worry, we will get there. Alright, so let's just run these through. I don't know why I put them on the left-hand side, like this one does not need to be there, this one does not necessarily need to be there. as long as everything can shift towards the right, then we're fine. Okay, what else do we need? We need power. I'm not really sure how the power poles are going to fit in here, but we know that beacons are going to take up these central slots. So let's just put those down so we can use that as a kind of a guide. So this will cover 2. Will this connect? It will not. Just barely doesn't. All right, that's fine. We can just chain them in like this. And that will only cover these. All right, so we need to get some. What if I had done them here instead? Nope, it doesn't matter. All right, let's get that connected. And there we go. We are generating petroleum gas. Oh, come on. It would be so nice if they reached. Whatever, not a big deal. And then I did not bring the pipes out for this one. That's alright. Max distance and max distance. Oh, this is just, it's gonna line up right here. Oh, that's unfortunate. I probably should have centered these a little bit. Actually, I think that's what I should do. I need to move them over at least a couple of spaces. Okay, well, I am going to do that real quick. I'm going to speed up the video. We're 27 minutes in, so I'm going to speed up the video. I'm going to shift these over to kind of center them, and then I am going to fill out the iron here and go clear at least this set of biters. And I will be back shortly. And we're back. Okay, I forgot to set up lights, but we don't have a lot of options for lights now, do we? Let's just put that there. Hold on. How about that? Okay, there we go. Lights are set up. Yeah, so we set up some iron, some more iron, killed a spider nest. That'll save us a little bit of effort later on. I tend to prefer not to make defensives. Anyways, so that was about 20 minutes for me. Hopefully that was only like 4 or 5 minutes for you, and if you skipped through to this part, then that's fine too. Okay, so in the next episode, we are going to be making plastic. Plastic is one of those things that we need to aim for red circuits. We need copper wire, or sorry, copper cables. We need plastic, and we need green circuits to make red circuits. Red circuits is what we are making to get to blue science, and blue science is definitely on the horizon. It's coming up soon. We're going to be doing, like I said, plastic next. Then we're going to be doing sulfur. I might squeeze the sulfur in with it because the plastic and the sulfur they don't really take that long. And we will show one of the plastic builds. I tend to do 2 plastic builds. Maybe I'll do it different this time because I have the option. I can bring 2 belts out. Oh, I'm starting to like this city block. We might have complications with the city block later. I don't know for sure, but you know what? Whatever. We'll find out eventually. Okay, so that is going to be it for this video. I will see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.